Bharati, Karnataka. Laghu Udyog Bharati, Karnataka celebrated the International MSME Day on June 27, 2020, where Union Minister for MSME, Mr. Pratap Chandra Sarangi, inaugurated the program through a webinar. Coinciding with the International MSME Day, Laghu Udyog Bharati decided to observe the following week, that is June 29th up to July 4th, 2020, as a vendor development week for MSMEs by way of hosting a series of webinars on vendor development, transfer of technology, export promotion, and related business development opportunities with specific reference to MSME sector. The main objective of the webinars are to familiarize our entrepreneurs on how to revamp business strategies and scout for new business opportunities with private and PSU entities who actively are now looking for partnership with MSMEs. Over the week, we have lined up webinars with DRDO, FIO, BEL. Now today it is Container Corporation of India, Railways, Indian Institute of Science, NRPAC Energy, and many more. To give just a small brief about what Laghu Udyog Bharati Karnataka chapter is, LUBK is a state chapter of LUB National, catering to 24 districts of Karnataka, and works towards the empowerment of entrepreneurs in micro and small sector. And we hope to cover all the 30 districts in Karnataka in the coming weeks and months. LUBK plays an active and important role in promoting business in the state, and also regularly organizes seminars, workshops, and interacts with senior government officials, both from state and central government, on critical issues concerning MSME businesses on a regular basis. Today on the chat box, we'll be posting a feedback form with a request to participants to kindly fill the same so that we can further improve our programs to our members. Coming back to today's webinar, on behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati, I once again personally invite all participants to this very important webinar with Container Corporation of India. CCI was established in 1988. It is now an undisputed market leader, having the largest network of 84 inland container depots and container freight stations in India, with 75 terminals and 9 strategic tie-ups. In addition to providing inland transport by rail for containers, it has also expanded to cover management of ports, air cargo complexes, and establishing cold chain. It continues to play the role of promoting containerization in India by virtue of its modern rail wagon fleet, customer-friendly commercial practices, and extensively used information technology. The company developed multimodal logistics support for India's international and domestic containerization and trade. Though rail is the mainstay for CCI's transportation plan, road services are also provided to cater to the need of door-to-door services for the international and domestic businesses. Let me briefly introduce our speaker today. Dr. Anup Dayanand Sadhu is currently the head and group general manager at Container Corporation of India Limited, Bangalore. He completed his graduation in medicine MBBS in 1990 at the prestigious Bangalore Medical College. Thereafter, he completed his PG course, MD in neuropsychiatry at NIMHANS. He successfully cleared the civil services exam in 1993 in the very first attempt itself, and joined Indian Railway Traffic Service. He did his advanced management course at ICLIF Malaysia, and also at the prestigious INSEAD Business School, Singapore. He has worked in various capacities at CCI as Divisional Safety Officer in Bangalore, Senior Divisional Operations in Bangalore, Mysore and Hubli, as Senior Divisional Commercial Manager at Mysore and Bangalore. He is a proud recipient of 2 national awards: National Award for Outstanding Service in Administration in 2005, and recipient of National Tourism Award from President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, in 2013. He is also the recipient of General Manager's Award for Excellence in Service in 2000, 2004, and 2015, and CIIE National Award for Excellence in Logistics Services. Apart from these coveted awards, he has received several honors for his leadership roles at CCI. I now officially invite Dr. Anup Dayanand Sadhu to kindly address the session, please. Dr. Anup.
Yeah, thank you, Shekhar, and good evening to all of you, the participants who have come and logged into this particular webinar. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
me.
We can hear you, Doctor, clearly.
Okay, right. Okay, right. Well, at the outset, I would like to wish all of you on this International MSME Week. And also I would like to thank Mr. Shekhar and his associates and also that Laghu Udyog Bharati who invited me to be the guest guest speaker for today's this seminar under MSME Week. Well, I hope everybody is keeping well in this COVID times. I wish and I hope that everybody, including your families, are well, and I wish and hope that everybody will be all right in the coming days too. And what we need to have in these times is that only the positive attitude that we're going to have, and that is very important. And well, coming to MSME, I should say that MSME is definitely the backbone of Indian economy, and believe it or not, it constitutes about 29% of our GDP, which is pretty high in this thing. And also, in anybody who is there in that EXIM business, they know that 50% of our exports is done by the MSMEs. So that is the kind of magnitude that MSME is available in the export domain. And the recent in the logistic national logistics report, what they are going to make logistics report. So they also given much importance to the MSMEs, and this will definitely optimize the MSME's production and as well as its working. And they hope that that from 29% of the GDP it will come up to 50%. So that is the target that they are given. And as far as the exports are concerned, so this will be from 50% to 75%. So that is the target they are forecasting for MSME. Well, in order to in this today's topic, I would like to tell you something about Container Corporation of India Limited. I'm sure that many of you are already our customers. As I told, the exports, they constitute about 50%. I'm sure that many of you are already dealing with Container Corporation at various level, either exporter or importers and things like that. But for somebody who is not associated with Concor, this will be. I would like to mention. A few important products and a few important things about Container Corporation of India Limited. So I made a few slides. So I'll go through the slides one by one. Yeah. Yes. So this is a container. It's a Navaratna PSU, Container Corporation. This was commenced its operation in '89, and we have a network from the network of 7 ICDs from Indian Railways. We took over and started our operation. And as told by Mr. Shekhar, that we are the market leader. 75% of our rail-based container movement is from Concor.
Doctor, one interruption here, please.
Hello.
One small interruption, Doctor. There are two screens of Dr. Anup. So for presentation, please click on Dr. Anup Sadhu presentation. Please view the presentation. Just click on Anup Sadhu presentation when you go to people.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a public, the Concor, as it is shortly called, it's a public sector undertaking under Ministry of Railways, which came into operation from November '89. And pan-India basis, we are having about 83 terminals right now, including the portside container terminals and domestic terminals. And we are proud that it's a Navaratna PSU status has been accorded to us by the government of India. Next one. See, the core business is, of course, one is important thing is carrier. So, as being the part of Ministry of Railways, so operational point of view that we are the carriers and we use extensively the rail based the mode of transportation. Though we are not basically from the railway based modal transport, it is a multimodal. We use both road, rail, and as well as sea also. So the carrier, that is our main core business of carrier. And the second is a custodian. So as a custodian of Exim cargo, we take utmost care of the cargo and containers of shipping lines. And the third aspect is we are the warehousing operators too. So we have a huge area of warehouses which we offer to our customers. And all India basis, we are having nearly about 3 million square feet of warehouse. And if you come to the Bangalore ICD, so Bangalore ICD itself has a 500,000 square feet of warehouse available at our terminal. Next. So as I told, our operating turnover is about 6,167, which we are having a incremental traffic turnover of nearly 10% from our previous year. And this is a gross turnover. Net profit is about 1,049 crores, which is about 22.26% more than the previous year, with a net worth of 9,402. And as I told earlier, the market share of Exim is 75%. Next, so this is the network that what we are having. As I told earlier, it is next one. So so we have 83 terminals. So purely Exim terminals we are having about 14, and purely domestic we have 24, and with a strategic tie-up with our partners is about 8, and the combined terminals are 37. So totally it constitutes about 83 terminals. And coming to Karnataka, we have 3 terminals, one at ICD Bangalore, Desur, and Mangalore at present. This thing. Next. So these are our financial. Of course, it is not updated up to 18-19. So we're awaiting the final results. So it's quite healthy. It is in the upward mode, and in fact, as I told earlier, it's 1,215 is our profitability that has been shown here. Net profit. Next. And physical terms that we in the total physical the TUs that what we have carried is about nearly 4 million TUs that we carry, and in that as you can see, that is a majority of it, nearly 80% is Exim cargo, and of course the rest 20% is most it is on the domestic cargo only. Next. So these are some of the terminals that we are having in southern region. About 7 terminals we are having, including ICD Whitefield. Next. So Concor, as you can see here, we have important movable assets that we are having. We own container wagons, nearly about 300 trains we own, constituting about 15,498 wagons. And 25,000 containers almost, and 14 gantry cranes, and reach stackers. Of course, 102 reach stackers. We own our own reach stackers, and we operate it in our terminals. Next. So the ICD Whitefield at Whitefield we have inaugurated in April 1993. It is heartening to say that it's ICD Whitefield is it is the first ever ICD that has been commissioned in Indian Railways in India, and this is one of the largest ICD facility that we are having in South India, and we have an area of about 125.06 acres of land, and we have the facility. What we are having is about 4 full-fledged rail sidings we are having, which has a capacity of 90 TUs each, and we provide both international as well as domestic trade. So this is not a pure Exim depot. So we deal with the international Exim and as well as domestic trade at ICD Whitefield. Next. So as I told earlier, so we have 4 full-length siding we are having it, and we own nearly 8 dedicated rakes. So we are having for ICD Whitefield, and almost 3 to 4 dedicated rakes in terms of for the domestic traffic. Next. So these are some of the facilities that we have at ICD Whitefield. We have 13 warehouses constituting about 40,525 square meters, both for bonded and as well as domestic cargo. And we have a dedicated space for the granite and cold storage for perishables. And we have a multi-stacking facility in one of the warehouses also for keeping our white goods. And we have important thing is that we have full-fledged custom facilities, which has been headed by an additional commissioner customs. And of course, under him, we have about three deputy commissioners and four assistant commissioners, and full-fledged, the customs facility is available here. So these are some of the other facilities for stacking, separate slots for import load and other areas for empty, keeping empty container parking, which has been included recently in the last about 3 years, about 40,000 square meters. And these are some of the heavy duty reach stackers and sling cranes, trailers, and all that which are available. And these are the other slide which shows that what services that we provide. As I told, it's international service and domestic. And under international, we have train services, air cargo movements, bonded warehousing, and domestic, of course, train services, volume discount schemes. Also, we are giving it to our customers, and door delivery and pickup. So that is also we are giving. And these are the bonded warehousing systems. It was started in India at ICD Whitefield, and which gives a dual advantage. One is the deferral to duty payments. So they do not have to give the duty payments immediately. And it is very cost-effective system for keeping their cargo and under bonding. And port connectivity, now we run nearly 2 trains every day to harbor of Madras, that is Chennai, both inwards and as well as outward. That is both inwards is imports, and of course outward is export trains. And Krishnapatnam port, PKPK, that is also weekly 2 trains we are running. And Yennur port is also a very important port. Now we have started recently in the last 1 year. So weekly service we are connecting to a weekly basis. And Katupalli port. So weekly once we are having via Tondiarpet. And Vallarpadam port, now recently we have started for the coastal customers. So coastal cargo, we are moving it from Vallarpadam port to ICD Whitefield. These are some of the new initiatives that what we have taken in general in the Concor. So one is that most important thing is that IT initiatives. So these are some of the IT initiatives that what we are having, multi-vendor systems. So we have a full-fledged Concor mobile app is there. I'm sure that many of you who are dealing with the Concor, they are already aware of this mobile app, and I'm sure that extensively they are using it. And recently that entire our office the correspondence, everything we have moved to e-office, and there is a totally integrated ERPs, ETMS, DTMS, and Oracle Finance. Everything has been integrated, and we are presently working on the terminal management system, a new software for it, and e-contract management and vending billing. So that is also we are working in it. And recently we have launched FMLM. So that is the first mile, last mile connectivity through mobile application. A very interesting the software that we have launched very recently last week, and we're going to start operating on it probably in the next 1 week time. So these are some of the technology which are the bedrock of our technological inputs that what we have made at in the Concor. And as you can see here that any e-filing the customer does it, so it goes through right through to the web application, to web email service servers, to our centralized data center. So wherein it is shared with MPLS, VSAT through to Indian Railways and Indian Customs. And also the same thing is we are taken into ETMS and DTMS, and which has a pan-India presence for connecting to all container terminals have been connected. So this is a e-filing software which we are telling our customers to adopt in extensively, where it is a web-based application. This is for the shipping lines, CHA, exporters, importers, freight forwarders, and it is one platform. So it gives a one single platform this software for the entire EXIM trade to perform online on their commercial transaction. So any importer, exporter agent can file his documents. Earlier, they used to bring the load of documents and file it here. Instead of that, they can e-file it wherever they are, including billing, and take necessary printouts also. So know your container location. Suppose the customer comes here and he has already got his container inside our yard. He wants to identify it and take it back. He wants to know where this particular container. Because in my yard, nearly about 10,000, almost about 6,000 containers are there. So it will be very difficult for anybody to see that where. But in order to make it very customer friendly, so now we have implemented Know Your Container Location, wherein continuous visibility has been given through radio data terminals, and we have our surveyors, we are utilizing it, and by press of the button they can know that which stack their computer, their container is available, where they can directly go and pick up their container for the use. So this is also, the customer can check their container location through SMS facility, through website query, and using kiosk installed at ICD premises. Also we have got installed this kiosk, and also the mobile Concur app also, they can use it to find out their the location of their containers. This is what I told, the touchscreen kiosk we are having at 2 locations at ICD Whitefield, where the customers are given continuous cargo visibility for customer value creation. And this is a mobile application, and many of you who are already dealing with Concur, they must be using it extensively. So we can know about container number, train number. For the following parameters, we are giving originating station, destination station, and everything. By press of button, they'll be able to visualize their container details. And this is one of the online facilities what we are having, that online delivery order. So that can be done, an online examination job order, EJO, online loading job order, e-sealing implementation, and online generation of PDA. So that is also we are doing it. Second important product that recently we have launched is, which is a very successful venture, I should say, from the Concur, is coastal shipping. As you know that India has a long coastline spanning about 7,516 kilometers, which makes it one of the biggest peninsulas in the world. And it is serviced by about 13 major ports and 12 government and 1 corporate, and 187 notified minor and intermediate. And as you can see in this figure, so road constitute nearly about 57 to 60%, and railways 30%, and coastal shipping is hardly about 7%. Though it is one of the most cheapest mode of transportation, so still that India, we are not caught up with coastal shipping. So in order to get more support and in order to specifically to reduce our logistic cost, so we have gone in for a coastal shipping. So what we have done for as far as the coastal shipping, we have commenced this particular coastal shipping on our western coast from 10th January 2019. So we have deployed 2 vessels, and with a capacity of 700 TEUs, and we are running currently between Kandla port to Tuticorin, with port calls at Mangalore and Kochi. So in the full year of 18-19, and we have completed about 11 voyages, and in the current full year we have done nearly about 37 voyages till October 2019. Of course, that we have stopped it during the coronavirus period from March, and from this month we are once again starting our services. And this is the third important product that what we have having it, total logistics solution. And as you can see that the market share of logistics sector in India is about nearly 4,37,000 crore. And you agree with me that only 10% of this sector is organized. Hence, it is a fragmented market, and about 65% of domestic freight is carried out by the road segment, and remaining by the rail segment, as I showed you earlier. And with the predicted increase in investment in agriculture, manufacturing, construction, the complete logistics sector is expected to boom. At Whitefield, we have already taken up IOC under Total Logistics Solution, and many more companies we are taking up. It is right from their production onwards. So whatever the logistic requirements are there of the of the particular customer, we take care of that, including invoicing, warehousing, transportation, everything. So it's a total logistic solution, which is a very important product that we have launched recently from the Concur. So this is again one more slide for that, and distribution logistics. And as I told earlier, that presently that Concur has 3.5 million square feet of warehousing, and our main target is to have nearly about 50 million square feet in the near future. And how do we do that? There are three ways of accomplishing this particular objective. One is setting up warehouses through Concur with one capital expenditure. And as I told in the earlier this thing, we are spending nearly about 600 crore every year for our capital as a capital expenditure for setting up new container terminals and especially warehousing. So that is what we are doing it. And second is through PPP model. That is a private-public partnership that we are going in for that. And very shortly that we're going to call a PPP, one expression of interest at ICD Whitefield, where we are planning to give away the 25 acres of land at ICD Whitefield for under PPP for construction of a modern distribution level warehousing. And the third aspect is hiring of warehouse at a fixed rent come revenue sharing basis at 20 nodes we have already identified. And the concept is that facility size ranging from 50 to 200 acres of land we are taking a minimum. And modern A-grade warehouses we are planning to construct, bulk warehouses, commodity specific, and especially the e-commerce we are targeting. And other thing is integrated logistics and manufacturing zone. And this is a very important thing as far as reducing our logistic cost, which hovers around 14 to 16% in India, as compared to the China, as compared to America, which is at 9%. And approximately that 750 acres of land we are, especially in the Telangana region, we have already taken. And one IMLZ is already working right now. So this will be a hub for especially manufacturing, warehousing, assembly line, and value-added services we are providing. And this is a very new concept that we are embarking on it. And we have found a very successful model, especially from the agri-processing, automobiles, fertilizers, petrochemicals, and aqua processors and FMCGs, granite and electronics. And other thing is cold chain logistics. And as you know that logistics with temperature control. So the cold chain logistics is a very important thing, and it's an upcoming market that we have foreseen. And major sectors which we are serving is food and beverages, and also pharmaceuticals. And supply, this is basically that we provide the pre-cooling systems, and we have refrigerated containers which we move between Whitefield and Chennai. And of course, in the other sectors also we are moving it, which is a very popular, which has found a very popularity in this particular segment. And cold storage and other things we are providing. And other name for this cold storage, this thing is reefer logistics. We have reefer containers as I have shown it in this particular pictures. So we have reefer containers which are having inbuilt motors to maintain the temperature. And we have about nearly 16 power points wherever we are catering to these reefer containers. We have provided power points at various points in our ICDs. And other thing is air cargo services, which we started in 1999, which is also a very important product that we are having it. And the various cargo activities, which includes road feeder services, air cargo complexes, and bonded and other warehouses. And what are the incentives for the customers? This is very important, I think, for the MSMEs who are thinking to come to Concur to give us business. So we give them 45 days free time. International loaded containers, either it is imports and exports. So we give them 45 days free time. And for empty containers, this is a very important for the liners. We give them 90 days of free time. I'm sure that none of the private container operators can match with this kind of facility what we are given. 45 days for the loaded containers, EXIM containers, and 90 days for the empty EXIM containers. And we also give volume discount scheme for the importers and exporters depending upon how many imports or exports they are doing it. And 1 month credit facility we are giving it to major importers, exporters, shipping lines, and other users. And of course, a POS facility also for cashless transactions are available. So what is our focus in the coming year? One is that we would like to double our turnover in the next about 3-4 years. Of course, we are planning to, in view of this COVID and other things, we are planning to rephrase our the plans and other thing. But our before the COVID, this was our focus that we want to double our turnover from 61 billion to 120 billion, and increase our market share from 75% to 80%, and spend our capex, as I told, rupees 6,000 crore in the next 5 years. And new terminals, of course, we were planning 100 terminals totally in the next about 2-3 years. And we are planning to acquire about 325 rakes and rolling stocks, and both at ILMZ and MMLPs. And coastal shipping, as in the western side, we are also planning to have a eastern coast also, the connecting to Krishnapatnam port to even Bangladesh. So that is also already in the advanced stage of implementation. So probably in a few months' time, we're going to have this sector also. And of course, mega warehousing centers, 20 numbers to have 50 million square feet in the next about 1 or 2 years. And of course, the technological input, real-time container tracking, mobile app, and predictive analysis using blockchains and technology, big data analytics. And these are some of the upcoming projects in this area. What I'm telling, that is that we already started our movements to Ennore Port. Every week we are running a single train from ICD Whitefield to Ennore Port, which has been very well patronized. And new rail signing at Mangalore we have already started, but we require your support also to use this particular facility, both for EXIM and as well as domestic handling. And bonded trucking we are planning shortly. And Tuticorin portside container to a terminal at Tuticorin also, because a lot of garment industries they are going by taking their product by trucks to Tuticorin. So we are planning to, in consultation with Tuticorin port, we are planning to have this service very shortly. And of course, a multimodal logistic park, very important thing at Kadkola. We have already procured 55 acres of land. And incidentally, yesterday the bids have been opened, and probably in a month's time we're going to award a tender. So probably in the next 1 year, 9 months, and 1 year, we're going to have a full-fledged multimodal logistic park, which is the first of its kind in this state. We're going to start at Kadkola near Nanjangud, which is about 15 kilometers from Mysore. And of course, upcoming MMLP and under PPP model also we are planning at Edure, which is under consideration. Probably that we will go through with this particular, this proposal. And role of MSMEs in procurement. Procurement, of course, we are doing it as per the government policy. 25% of procurement should be through MSME. That we are following it very diligently in Concord, in all the terminals of Concord. And of course, in that also 4% of procurement through SCST MSMEs. And GEM data, we have seen that already that 52.83% of the value procured has come from MSMEs. So which is a good thing, and which we want to take it to further to 70%. Has given a, and also the GEM has given a platform for SCST hub to have a wider share in the market for product and service procurement. So this is one this thing about procurement portal. We already started MSME Sambandh. This is a public procurement policy as per the public procurement policy from 8th December 2017, which is there. I am sure that many of the MSMEs they must be utilizing it. So these are some of the accolades that what we have got in the recent times for ICD Whitefield specifically. About nearly 10 to 11 awards that what we have got it. And with this, I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you very much for hearing patiently my presentation. And I'm open for any queries in this particular thing. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. And before I open the floor to the participants, there is already a question, Doctor. This is from Mr. B.S. Srinivasan. His question is,
Yeah, please tell me.
1 minute. Just what is the turnaround time for loading and unloading a container in Chennai port? How can you improve the TAT for improving efficiency and reducing transportation and shipping cost, which is prohibitively expensive in India?
Mhm. See, actually, that turnaround time at this thing, that dwell time, that is Chennai. We are not waiting about 2 to 3 days. So that is what we feel. But I have to get a clarification because we don't, maintain the data over here for the Chennai port. But what I suggest is, what we can tell you is that the running time between Chennai port once the train leaves from there, so it is coming reaching Whitefield in nearly about 18 hours, 15 to 18 hours. So that is our average time taken by our trains which is leaving from HOM. And one good thing which I wanted to announce is that from this month onwards, because we are not running, railways are not running passenger trains. So we want to, we have already, they have taken initiative to run the container trains on timetable. So that will cut down the running time almost to the half. And earlier, what we have taken is about nearly about 8 hours we can reach from ICD Whitefield to Chennai port. So this is a big boon for the customers who are taking their cargo from Bangalore Whitefield to Chennai port.
Yeah, the floor is open. Participants can ask a question.
Shekhar, I have.
Please go ahead, sir.
Can I come in? I have 1 or 2 questions to Dr. Anup.
Yeah.
And thank you, Doctor, for giving a detailed presentation. And I remember we had met some time back also.
Yes, yes.
And see, the issues still remain. 1 or 2 issues which our members bring in is about the cost. Actually, they say that the Chennai port is quite overloaded, and there is a lot of congestion happening, and delays are happening, particularly for inward clearances. So, what can you do about it to help? Particularly during the COVID time, there has been a lot of delay, and even the demurrages and costs are adding up to the MSMEs.
Yeah.
And second point is, because of that, people would like to use more of the Mangalore port facility, but then access to NMIT is always a problem actually, because generally more people are using the road connectivity because of the perceived thinking that the rail connectivity is taking a lot of time and like that. So your views on that?
Yes.
And I will also put the other one also, sir, so that you can answer all the 3. The third is that with respect to the North Karnataka regions, there are a lot of export-oriented units in Hubli and in Belgaum. And there is a demand from Hubli region that the Hubli airport be upgraded to a cargo facility. And since you are one of the implementing agencies, we have written to you. And can you please speed it up using your good offices?
Yeah. Okay.
About Belgaum, sir, about Belgaum ICD facility, there is a talk that it is not functional, it is not operational. And,
come again? What is the thing? Belgaum?
Belgaum, the inland container at Desur is not functioning, and I think you had plans of shifting it to Sambra.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to tell us more about that, sir?
Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah. Now, first, what you have raised is that congestion at
Chennai.
Port.
Port. Yeah.
I think it was during the COVID period only that this kind of a problem happened. Mainly because that they're not able to get concerned documentation, which was not done in time, so that we can move out the container. It is not because of the transportation or not giving any the container rates or the movement. So during I can tell you that that 100% we are working during entire period of COVID, and not a single day that we stopped our services. It is mainly at the port that probably at the CHAs or they are not able to produce the requisite document to get a clearance from the customs. So that is main thing. And if you feel that there is a congestion, now we have a plethora of additional the ports which are available, which can handle like KICT and Kamarajar port is also there, which we are running a regular train service from ICD Whitefield. And Krishnapatnam port. Krishnapatnam port is also many of the now the Maersk has shifted their operation to Krishnapatnam port. So that is also one alternative that is available. Where if you feel that the Chennai port is not, the turnaround time is very high at this, at Chennai port. So these terminals, their terminal, the turnaround time is much better, and compared to the Chennai port. That's what what I feel. And other thing what you told was at Hubli. Of course, I discussed with you that I have recently discussed with the Ministry of State for Railways also. And of course, only one terminal which was working earlier was the Desu terminal, Container Corporation Desu terminal, which was working. But because of the works which are carried out, doubling work by the railways, so the loop lines are coming right over my terminal. So there was no other alternative that was available. So we were forced to stop this particular operation at Desur, and they have promised, railways have promised that they are going to give us land at Sambra, which is on the other side of Belgaum, which is about 10 kilometers there. And so there at the earliest probably we'll be able to start our operation. But concurrently or alternatively, now railways have allowed lift on, lift off the facility at various, all the terminals. Earlier only the few terminals which are only less than 7 rakes per month activity. So those terminals are open. But now all terminals have been opened for lift on, lift off activity. So if you feel that some terminal is there where we can start our container activity, please let us know. We can do this, start a CRT terminal at container rail terminal at this location. And of course, the last time when I talked to you, you gave a very good idea of air cargo at Hubli. And we are definitely working on it. And I've discussed with my Minister of State for Railways also. And he has given a positive this thing, and we'll definitely work it through. And definitely we're going to have a air cargo complex at Hubli Airport also. Okay. And which is the other one? The second one I did not.
About the cost at NMPT, sir. The people are telling that the tariffs are little high in Mangalore as compared to others. I don't really know much about it, but what are your views on that?
No, cost for port charges. Probably the lowest port charges are there in NMPT as compared to Chennai port, KICT or Kattupalli and other things. So the port charges are very less. But only thing is ship calling is very less. I don't know. Ships are not calling right now. And I've attended a meeting last time. You were also there in that particular meeting. So where the chief secretary was telling they're planning to have some kind of a meeting with them and with all the stakeholders and trying to get more number of mainline ships calling at Chennai port. And from the Concor side, I have procured full length siding from the Kudremukh Iron Ore Company and inside the port itself, which is ready for operation. So if you have any product, a coastal product or EXIM product, please let us know. Definitely we can bring your containers to Bangalore or any other place in India. That's my suggestion.
And what is it that is happening near Yedur, sir? Anything connected with the pharma industry there?
No, Yedur is a private party who is ready to give away some land to Container Corporation, and it is in the advanced process of processing. And probably in a week or 10 days time, that we'll come to know that we're going to most likely that we're going to have an ICD sort of an ICD or a MMLP, multimodal logistics under PPP model at Yedur, because Yedur is right on the opposite side of Whitefield, which is on the Whitefield east side, and Yedur is on the west side of the Bangalore. And now we can avoid trucks going from west to east, coming all the way to passing through. Bangalore to have an idea at west part of Bangalore. Hopefully that we're going to give you a announce in the near future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, there's another question from Mr. Srinath CS. You export to USA, Baltimore Port, ready-to-eat foods. Which route is competitive, Bangalore to Chennai or Bangalore to Mumbai?
Pardon me, from where they want to bring?
To export to USA to Baltimore port. Which route is
What? In
Bangalore
USA.
or Bangalore to Mumbai?
USA. What is the product they are planning?
Ready to eat food, doctor.
Ready to feed. Okay, I'll tell you, because Chennai, there are two options. One is through Chennai and another is through J&K port in Mumbai. Okay. So, but J&K, this thing, I don't have any service as it is, but I connect to J&K Mumbai through road transportation only. And if you need a faster services, I feel that Chennai is much better, because every day we are running two trains, two pairs of train from ICD Whitefield to Chennai. So whatever that you give, immediately we are shifting to Chennai, because we got a more number of train services between ICD Whitefield and Chennai.
Next question, please. Anyone from the participants?
Sir, this is Srinivasan, Vice President, Laghu Udyog Bharati.
Yeah.
And many times when we have attended the meeting of DGFT in Bangalore, we had a very, very peculiar question coming up time and again. They're
Yes.
saying, moment we have some Kaveri riot-like situation in the state of Karnataka, between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, most of the container transport shipment going to Chennai, because the Chennai is the closest port and the most efficient port in south of India.
Yes.
They're saying the transportation of container does not take place. And on the same issue, we had requested that Government of India and also CCI to develop a similar facility for the exporters around Belgaum or Hubballi area. Has anything been done so far?
Yeah. So with regard to your first question, well, I could say that, whatever agitation, whatever lockdowns, whatever is there, but if you are using rail services, that is Concor services to go to Chennai, and definitely we are not going to hold up any of your containers. And during the COVID period, as I told earlier, that not a single day that we stopped our services, train services from Bangalore to Chennai. And only the problem is that, we are taking your container by road. So if you are taking it, definitely it will get held up in the various places because of this problem. So that is the reason I request everybody that, if you are moving your containers by road, please come and come to Container Corporation. So where this kind of problem will never happen. And with regard to the second question, I've already answered that North Karnataka, yes, we agree that there is a lot of traffic requirement is there. And our only terminal which was there earlier in Desur, so that has been shut down mainly because of the doubling work that is taken up by the railways. But we are in the process of opening up one more container depot at Samra, which is about 10 to 12 kilometers from Belgaum on the other side towards Pune. And so I think that will cater to that particular the requirement. But as I told earlier, that any terminal, any railway route siding, if you feel that there is a traffic is there, so now railways are allowing a lift-on, lift-off facility at these particular railways, which are not given earlier. So you make use of that, and we can have the container train services at these container rail terminals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I got the answers. I'm sorry I missed a few minutes of your presentation. I did not know that you had already answered the question. Thank you.
I'll definitely share it with Mr. Shekhar. You can have the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Next question. Next question. Anybody from the audience, please? Any other question, or should we close it? I think we need to now close it, sir. On behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati Karnataka, I sincerely thank you very much, sir, for the very comprehensive session today. I'm sure every participant today has immensely benefited from your informative and very incisive thoughts in the session. We seek your guidance and support, sir, in the future also.
Okay.
May I request Mr. Bhojraj to kindly conclude the session? Mr. Bhojraj?
Thank you, Dr. Anup. It was a wonderful session. I'm Bhojaraj. I'm one of the honorary secretary of Laghu Udyog Bharati.
Okay.
This week is a MSME week we are celebrating, and
Okay.
we invited all government, PSUs, and private bodies to interact with MSMEs. It is a wonderful session from Container Corporation of India. Definitely, it's very helpful to us, sir. Definitely, we will cooperate with you. Thank you for your time and wonderful session, and your inputs are great help to MSME, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, sir.
Thank
I request all participants to fill the feedback form, and also I think you have met our Shrikant Datta. He is our state president, Laghu Udyog Bharati, and our state general secretary, Mr. Narayan Prasanna, is here, Mr. Dr. Anup. Though we are not able to, Shrikant Datta is our state president, and Narayan Prasanna is our state general secretary. And hope you have answered our vice president, Mr. Srinivasan. He is into electronics, and also from one of our vice president, Sri Shivanand Auti is also here. He is to valve cluster at Hubballi, and they are a wonderful this one at Hubballi, sir. More than 150 valve companies are there at Hubballi.
Okay. That's great.
Thank you, Dr. Anup.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Small announcement. Tomorrow we are having one more Navratna PSU's vendor development program by Bharat Electronics Limited. 2nd July, tomorrow at 4 p.m. I invite every one of you to participate in this.
Thank you, Dr. Anup.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.